Hey y'all, I am here with my new friend, my newest friend, y'all. We're hanging out at the Fort Worth Music Festival and Conference. I'm going to get back to the conference in a minute, but Lisa Sanders stopped by to talk to me today. How are you today?
I'm really good, thank you.
We are having a real good time. I missed her performance last night,
Yeah.
but I'm going to connect with her. I'm going to get all her music. She is a folk artist
I am.
from San Diego, California. She's here for the festival. Talk about last night's performance.
Oh, you know what? It was an experience.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful. I was at the Tannin Hill.
Yeah.
And I felt comfortable. I felt like it was home.
Yeah.
And folks was really genuinely appreciating the music, and
Okay.
they came and told me so.
Oh,
so
yeah?
it was
Okay.
nice.
That's cool.
The sound man Aaron was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they got everything done for you.
Yeah,
You feeling right at home.
dialed
You're in the
in,
groove.
and
And,
he
Okay.
made me feel comfortable,
Yeah.
and he wanted to make sure everything was perfect.
That's cool. So you perform folk music.
I do.
All right. Talk about being in the folk genre.
Oh my gosh, it's a little different. We fly all over the world.
Okay.
I just finished 4 days at the International Folk Festival and Conference
Yeah.
in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
And we take over that whole hotel, the Westin.
Okay.
And
Ooh,
part
the
of this,
Westin.
yeah, and part of the Sheraton too.
Okay.
And it's in the Crown Center, with that
okay.
big bridge that goes across.
Yeah.
Anyhow, everyone flies in, managers and everything, and we get our bookings and things that we do for.
Yeah.
I've been put in the folk genre, but I play just about any kind. Like my music has jazz, it has folk, it has pop, it has all these elements because of the way I grew up.
Sure.
And, but mostly identify now as folk because it's easier for folks to understand.
Right.
They like to make sure you're using a
Yeah.
little compartment.
Right, they want to compartmentalize everything.
Yeah.
Out of all those genres that you include,
Yeah.
they compartment. So it's not necessarily folk music; it's folks music.
It's folk. Yeah.
It's folks music.
Yes.
So we
Yes, exactly.
I love it.
That's what I call it too. So it's
Okay.
nice you said that because I was
Yeah.
like, I call it folks music.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. So before I get to more into your music, I'm a homer. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm from Fort Worth. This festival, I think, is a wonderful idea. I think we're onto something with this festival here in Fort Worth. It's going to get bigger. It can't.
Yeah.
You know,
It looks
gonna
like
expand.
it.
So talk about Fort Worth. You're not staying in Fort Worth, but you are here. You're experiencing Fort Worth and Stockyard.
I am. For the first time I've been here at the Stockyard. I've been in and out of Texas for years.
Oh, okay.
My children went to Texas State.
Really?
My youngest, she didn't go to Texas State, but
Uh-huh.
she went to art college in Pasadena. Long
Okay.
story,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
and
yeah.
other colleges. 'Cause
Sure.
she got a few degrees, the youngest one, and she lives outside of Austin with my ex-husband,
Okay.
who's been here for years.
Wow.
And my granddaughter grew up here pretty much, and it's been I've been in and out playing here for years and years.
So that brings to mind South by Southwest coming up in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We've got that coming up. So we're talking folk music, right?
Sure.
So you're in that space, and in that space, you are sometimes in that space with experiences that only you have.
That's right.
Talk about that.
I'm usually, I came up in this business usually being the only person that looks like me.
Mm-hmm.
When I came in this is where I'm at, this is how old I am. 1996, I got signed to a record deal. And it was the same time that Tracy Chapman was out.
Wow.
And so everybody was trying to compare me to Tracy Chapman, but my first record was more like a jazz pop kind of thing with folk infused in it, because that's just me. I can't help it.
Right.
So that was a challenge because it was only me, Tracy, and a couple other people here and there. But everyone else in the landscape, no one looked like me. And so that became a challenge, not for me, but for the industry.
Sure.
Because they were telling me, oh, we only need a Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
We don't need you, or you don't belong here. Because some crazy thing happened is my music kind of went toward the country vein, Americana on
Yeah.
its own.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything I planned. It wasn't. I don't plan any of my records. They just do what they're gonna do.
Right,
I got a punk rock record too. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, it was very challenging.
Yeah.
But I face these challenges as my mom always says, just keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
And things will change around you. And she was right.
Yeah.
It took me years and years. It's taken me a couple decades, but things are finally like becoming. We as folks, as Black people, have been carving out our own space.
Yeah.
In this musical landscape, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And it's not without its challenges. And I was thinking about it on the way here. When hip hop came out, people was mad about it. You know, there was gunfire and people getting killed, all kinds of stuff going on around it. Cops mad, FBI mad. Oh, what is this music? What these people going to start doing? And now it's like country. Beyonce just did a thing, and everybody's like, excuse the expression, vomiting all over.
Yeah.
You know, like as if, oh my God, this is scary.
Right.
No, she's just playing music that innately comes through her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And music, God made music. He said, be joyful. You know, he didn't say put you in a box and, you know. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on.
No, that's good because, you know, you mentioned Tracy Chapman, and she's come back around with the fast car, you know, and performance at the Grammys, which everybody's talking about. They were talking about it yesterday at a session I stepped into. So everybody saw that, and Beyonce with that, you know, and then it causes us, today is March 1st. Black History Month ended yesterday.
Yes.
But with Beyonce coming into the country music space, a lot of people were forced to recognize that country music is something else that has come from the black sound.
Yeah.
Of course, you were mentioning you have a punk rock record.
Yeah.
Punk rock is something else that emanated from the black community.
Right.
You know.
It's crazy. And we're just doing music that is innately us.
Yeah.
And it gets expressed in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And it's hard because people get raised in a box.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it because I grew up in the military and we grew up with everybody.
Okay. Yeah.
So we understand that people are just living a human experience.
Yeah.
And so they may express it in fear when they see something or hear something that it makes them uncomfortable because they're used to it being called theirs, not understanding where things come from, how different cultures incorporate music and stuff.
Right, well, yeah.
So they're going to have a little bit of problem for a while. And then what happens is the universe says, you know what? We like hip hop, so it's staying.
Right.
And people are going to be saying, you know what? I like Beyonce singing country music. And there are plenty of black people. Reese Palmer. Color Me Country show. The Black Opry. I happen to be a member of the Black Opry.
Wow, okay.
I got put in the Black Opry like, okay, Holly G said, her and Ted, you in the Black Opry now. Okay.
All right. I love it. And Mickey Guyton, who is from Arlington. I got a chance to speak with her recently.
Great.
Charlie Pride, my grandmother's favorite country artist.
Of course.
You know, so it's not new, right?
It's not new.
And Beyonce is not the first to kind of dibble and dabble in another genre. All major pop artists kind of try something else after a while.
Sometimes they come from gospel, sometimes jazz, you know.
So I like it. I like the idea. I haven't listened to the music yet.
Oh,
I do
God,
like the
I love
idea.
it.
Do you?
You know why? I love Rhiannon Giddens.
Okay.
And she teaches us where the roots of the banjo and where our history it comes from.
Yes.
And what Beyonce did to me blew my mind.
Wow.
She took Rhiannon Giddens playing the banjo, and I think she also played the viola on this first cut.
Oh, wow.
And it infused the old-time feeling with country music in a way that just lit me up. She just created a new genre to me.
Yeah.
It was as if she said, you know what? This is country, but we're gonna blow it up. And it's been difficult for
Yeah.
people. I've done so many country. Last month, because it was Black History Month, the PR department at the UCSD Guggenheim Theater Park and Market had me play a big concert, and I played it with some bluegrass boys, the Water Tower Band.
Oh,
I love Kenny
yeah,
and them. I love Kenny and Tommy, and they came and sat in with us for the concert. But they hired PR for us to go to all the country radio stations in San Diego and Riverside, LA counties.
Okay.
I went as far as LA to do Kenny's show, which was the Wildwood Flower Hour in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And so, So, and the question was, oh, where is this going?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's doing its own thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be good. I think once everybody gets used to it being around, and everybody figures out how they can make a lot of money, and then the whole landscape will change. As soon as they can figure out how they can get in on it, then we'll be okay.
And capitalism,
I hate to say it, but it's true.
That does make perfect sense. A lot of artists are sitting on the shelves right now because they're not viable, they're not marketable.
So they say.
To speak, right? And so I know a lot of artists are kind of waiting for that day to come.
They shouldn't wait.
They shouldn't wait.
No.
Okay.
No. The only reason why I'm saying that is because we are here.
Yeah.
And I can say this, I can speak only for myself. After being in the business for 20 years or so, I started to say, where are my people at?
Yeah.
Nobody looks like me. And so I set my intention. I'm a very spiritual person.
Sure.
I do everything according to spirit. So I set my intention. I said, I need to find my people. I need to find people who look like me, who sing the kind of music that I sing.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, crazy. In the middle of the night, I be on my phone, YouTube. All of a sudden, there's Madison Ward and the Mama Bear. And then there's, oh my gosh. And then there's JT and Allison Russell and Birds of Chicago. Then there's Chastity Brown. And there's all these other artists that I didn't know were out there doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I got to meet them all. Now JT, my new record that's going to come out, he co-produced and co-wrote it with me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Allison Russell is singing on 3 of the tracks.
Okay.
And she just won a Grammy, and she's just exploding right now. So all I'm saying is all you have to do is get out there, find your people, and that's even your fans. I'm still finding new fans. I'm learning business so that I can find fans and people who my music speaks to.
Yeah.
So therefore, I create my own market.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. Now, you know, that's part of what the conference aspect of the festival is about. Is actually there's a session coming up soon. I wrote them down, but I didn't memorize the schedule. They're going to be talking about that stuff.
Yes.
And so many people need that.
That's
they need
right.
to know how to literally, build it for yourself. Because we see in the industry, once you build it, then they'll come. They'll
That's
say,
right.
we'll finance the rest of it, right?
That's
after
right.
you do it. After
That's
you do
right.
that. But, and it's a journey. You've been in it 20 years, but it gets lonely. People are not necessarily looking for you.
That's true.
While you building that market. Talk about how you have persevered this length of time in the industry like this.
I tell you what, by being adaptable.
Okay.
And by understanding that there's a time for everything.
Oh, wow.
I have been where I've had people lined up down the road. I'm in the San Diego Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I was gonna ask
But
that.
there was some periods in my career where I may do a show and there's only 2 people in the audience. It'd be Joe and Barbara Gardner, and I knew them by
Shout
name.
out to them.
Yeah, shout out to Joe and Barbara, who are still with me.
Yeah.
And then I've had, 100 sold out shows, and to know that this business, it ebbs and flows, just like any business.
Right.
So you have to build within your career a means to be able to sustain those times mentally, sometimes physically, and emotionally, and business-wise. You need to be prepared for the ups and downs because they will come.
Oh, they do come. Yeah.
I mean, you look at any star,
Yeah.
and sometimes you go, where are they? And half
Yeah.
the time they're like producing a movie or something, you don't even
Right.
hear about it.
Right.
They keep
Right.
moving,
Yeah.
and they adapt, and
Wow.
that's what you have to do when you are your business.
I love that, and even sometimes going back to the Beyonce part is sometimes
Yeah.
a lot of them shifted
That's
when
right.
something wasn't working or that sound phased out. They
That's
say, okay,
right.
well I'll do this over here. So talk about your sound because these are innate sounds
Yes.
coming from you, but some people choose to make the change. Talk about that.
That's true. Sometimes you have to decide who you are and what you value in your own artistic expression.
Wow.
And if you think that it would benefit you better to pivot and change to another genre that will be more acceptable and you will feel more happy in, that's what you should do.
Okay. I love it.
You know,
Yeah.
Otherwise, keep the course, and sooner or later, lightning strikes.
I know that's right.
You know,
Yeah.
either way, we are the ones who must guide our careers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if trust yourself, trust yourself, trust your process, and if your process isn't working, find a better process to put your music out in any kind of way that you can. Some people think it's a record label, some people do it themselves.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own path.
Yeah.
So
Man, that is so cool. So, 20 years in, that's quite a journey.
Actually 30, but
30,
yeah.
actually 30. See, that's the truth. That's the truth that a lot of people need to know and see. Because there is a time when, you're going to just be building.
that's right.
You're just going to be building. Talk
That's
about that.
right. Okay, right now I'm building.
Okay.
And this is how I'm doing it. I'm learning about my social media better so
Okay.
that I can, because when you have a budget, you have to make your budget go as far as you can.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that means sometimes you might have to do things like your own social media for a bit till you can hire somebody. Right now I'm building.
Yeah.
And now I just got a team that's coming on. They're from Italy.
Okay.
To help me build my social media presence because they happen to be students of a guy Jay Sheehan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. He
Yeah.
wrote the production toolkit, #1 bestseller for these kinds of events.
Right.
Anyway, but make a long story short, so I'm building right now. I'm building my fan base, my presence,
Yeah.
and because you must have a foundation.
Sure.
And I'm setting my foundation. I have hardcore fans I love from home. There's at least 1,000 of them I can count on buying a record,
Yeah.
and that's a start.
Right.
So I'm building, and so that I can have something to stand on when I put my record out.
Sure. Well, I love that because I'm listening to you talking. I'm like, you say you're building, but you've been at this. You kind of have an established presence, but you do have to build to go higher.
You do.
You got to use the foundation, and as they say, your ceiling becomes your floor.
Exactly.
And with each level. So that's super cool.
Exactly.
And that's humbling to hear from somebody on your level.
That's my #1 thing. I must approach everything with a bit of humility because
Yeah.
if I don't, I tell you, I get humiliated. So I learned how to go, okay, like in the Tannin Hill, they put me in the lounge. Now it was loud, it was crazy,
Yeah.
but still I have to deliver my hour that they paid me for
Right.
and do the best that I can.
Yep.
And it wasn't the optimum situation that I'm used to because
Yeah.
I'm not used to playing lounges or casuals, I call them anymore.
Yeah.
But yet and still, they did call me all the way from here to California and say, will you please come? And I said yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I had to bone up and do it.
And honor that. And speaking of foundation, you're part of the foundation of the Fort Worth Music Festival. As it grows, we'll look back and we'll say, well, Lisa Sanders was here.
Yeah.
So we know it's legit. There are a lot of
Yeah.
other people that scanned the list, and I'm like, I don't know them. It's not the big names,
No,
Not all
not
of them
yet.
are big names, But it's just a matter of time before this thing blows up. And so it starts with the artist like Lisa Sanders, who knows her value, knows what she brings, knows who she is in the industry. And that way you can provide something that they thoroughly enjoyed. They didn't waste too much time letting you know that they enjoyed it. So I'm gonna ask you this, and I'm gonna let you go, y'all. I hope you're enjoying this conversation as much as we are.
Oh yeah.
So as we continue this, I want to ask you. You mentioned that you were in the San Diego, the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the name of that? I know there was another
San Diego Music Hall of Fame,
and there was another honor that was bestowed on you also recently. So talk about that.
Oh wow! I got the call from our guy, and he's like, "We're going to induct you in the Hall of Fame," and I cried like a baby, and he cried like a baby. We both crying we were both crying at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it was a miraculous moment, and it was wonderful to go through it. I was inducted with Taylor guitars and Deering banjos and Country Dick and that's right. And Yale Strom, they're world people. So it was really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
What a giant honor. And I've won a few San Diego Music Awards, best artist, best albums, things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I am thrilled when I saw you on the list. I was like, oh no, I got to talk to Lisa. I got to meet Lisa. And so she happily obliged,
of
I have
course.
to say. And so that was something that made me feel good, especially being in Fort Worth and not necessarily in this genre, not necessarily covering it, but I can always have a conversation.
That's right.
And as you heard today, there's so much to learn, and Lisa is so thorough. She is building the foundation now. So if you're meeting Lisa for the first time, make room for the others coming. I always tell people,
they're coming.
Listen, when you get in on the ground level, sometimes you don't want to make elbow room for the new people coming. But because of your hard work, it's certainly on the way. So you have music available. I know you can buy it on your website. Let us know if it's available anywhere else and how we can get that.
Well, you can also listen to it on Spotify. You can buy it on Apple Tunes. It's everywhere. I also have a whole Pandora channel.
Oh.
So you can
nice
also.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can connect with me there.
Yep.
On Spotify, I have a bunch of tunes up. I'm gonna put the UCSD concert list of songs that I did coming out soon.
Okay.
And that was fun.
Yeah.
So, it just, your ears will get tickled. There's all different kinds of things in there. And a lot of co-writes with different people.
Okay.
So, one for Susan Gibson. She's a Texan. She wrote Wide Open Spaces for the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, yeah.
And we wrote a song called Texas on my Last Night Roseburg album.
Yeah.
And I do a song with called Rainbow, which I'm going to do over with Steve Poltz. And he wrote You Were Meant for Me with Jewel.
Oh,
and so there's a whole bunch of different things on there. But, yeah.
Well, I like it. I'm going to add you on Pandora. I'm going to check you out on Spotify on the ride home. That's going to be my commute when I leave from here today. But also, social media. You're building up your social media. So what better way to build up your social media than to tell everybody how they can follow you in this interview?
Instagram, Lisa Sanders Music.
Okay.
Please come to Instagram.
Okay.
I do a lot on Instagram. I love Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm also on Facebook.
Okay.
And so it's Lisa Sanders too on there. And you can... on my personal page, I do more yakking on that than I do on my pro page. But my pro page is there too.
Okay.
So, Lisa Sanders Music, Instagram, Lisa Sanders Sings on Facebook.
Okay. Wow. Well, I love it so much. I am just so sorry that I missed your performance last night.
It was good.
I know. That's why I wanted to be there. There are a few more that I want to see.
I can't toot my own horn.
Hey, I will.
Hey, but
listen.
Snoop was on the TikTok today saying you better toot your own horn.
You got to come on
I
with
got to
it.
listen to Snoop.
Yep. I know for a fact there are at least two more that I absolutely want to catch.
Oh, good.
Even though I missed you, this thing is giving an opportunity for people in this space. I'll say Black people in this space to be heard and seen. As you were walking up before you came up, I was like, I wonder if anybody will recognize her and stop her, because I'm like, that makes things like this great. Of course you can blend in, you can walk in, but it would be wonderful if people were like, hey, that's even if they don't know your name, that's the lady from yesterday. So
Telluride, that happened at the Bluegrass
Is
Festival.
that right?
Everywhere I went, I couldn't even walk 2 feet.
Wow.
But it was more of an open thing. It wasn't. It was a little different in there.
Okay. What's that feeling like? I gotta ask. What's that feeling like?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel really good. NPR's like, you should have won, you know.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to Telluride Bluegrass Troubadour contestant out of 569
Okay.
applications. So I won third.
Okay.
But it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I got stopped a lot.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Fort Worth, if you see this face again, make sure you stop and you say hello to Lisa Sanders. And if you don't have her new music, ask her when the new music is coming out or where you can get it.
Yeah.
Start by going to her website. That website is
LisaSanders.com.
so easy. You can't even mess that up.
And if you sign up for the newsletter, you get a whole free album download.
You want to get it, okay? You want to get it. I was listening earlier, and I was like, wow, this music sounds good. I need to get some. But it was early in the morning, you know, and I'm like, oh, she's probably not up yet, so I don't want to get too busy and start doing stuff. You know how you're creeping around in the early morning hours. You tiptoeing around the house. But anyway, I'm checking it out now. I'm fully awake. I was half awake when I sent the email, but I'm fully awake. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to acclimate myself to Lisa Sanders' music. And she's got so much good stuff coming down the pike. Find out all about it on Instagram, Facebook, on the Pro page now, Lisa Sanders Sings, and do all that. Thank you so much for coming to Fort Worth.
Thank you, Fred. It was wonderful.
It was, wasn't it?
So good to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
So
We just having a good time over here talking. The scenery behind us is just
good talking
outstanding. And listen, this won't be the last time you hear from Lisa Sanders on this platform. And it can't be the last time you talk to her. So Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, follow her. Are you on YouTube? Your music is on?
Oh, yeah.
It's on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm getting new videos put up.
Okay.
So I'm just qualifying.
The whole gambit is happening. Lisa Sanders music.
Everything's changing.
It's changing. It's changing. Y'all building the foundation on that. So thank y'all for watching. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Having me.
Having you. There you go.
Bye.